amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I've run every test I can think of. EKG, cellular regression synthesis, brain chemistry, and dark matter confirms it. Iris is a speedster.
So what about Barry?
Everything that was a part of you, your speed, connection to the speed force, the dark matter, it's all a part of Iris now.
Can you?
Reverse it? I don't know. I can try.
So Matthew Kim isn't just removing DNA, he's transferring it to anybody he touches.
He's not getting rid of metas, he's creating new ones.
Well, that's not the only thing. Guess who's got an apartment just a block away from the 405 bus line and rides it every day to get to work?
So, Matthew is our bus meta, not Fry, which means that DeVoe is gonna come after him sooner or later.
And if DeVoe gets Matthew's abilities, he could take away all our powers.
Unless we get him on our side first, then he can remove the meta DNA from DeVoe.
Would that work?
I mean, yeah. It could. As best I can tell, Matthew's abilities work by melting down the highly concentrated bonds between DNA. That makes them totally pliable so he can extract them and infuse somebody else with the exact same meta DNA.
Melting highly concentrated bonds. Melting point. Oh, yeah. I gotta write that down.
Okay, great. So you guys figure out how to get this Mr. Melting Point in the same room as DeVoe and not get his brain sucked out. I'm gonna go get a couple of bear claws and go back to my room.
It's not Mr. Melting Point. Look, it's just Melting Point.
You know, somebody out there has Fry's fire powers right now. We need to find them as much as we need to find Matthew.
I'm on it.
Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 4, and today we're going to be breaking down the sneak peek that you just saw. So this is tonight's episode, so this video will be released prior to the episode, so if you do go on to enjoy the video and you want to see my review tomorrow, please be sure to subscribe if you're new and leave a like and a comment if you do go on to enjoy it. So in the scene that was just released online via the CW, we get some context as to how we actually might end up taking down DeVoe, and also in another scene that was released on YouTube, Harry is playing with his cerebral inhibitor, and that is one way. What I'm going to be talking about here is another way of how to take down DeVoe that no one really has thought of this far, because we haven't actually got to this episode. Now we got some more context about the bus meta who is actually in this episode. So obviously DeVoe is going to be going after Melting Point, as Cisco calls him, and so in the scene Caitlin explains to us that the way that his powers work, he is able to transfer DNA, and he's able to actually transfer the meta gene in someone into another person, and that is why Barry has lost his speed, and that's why Iris has got it, and they're gonna include that, and that's an idea of how they might actually take down DeVoe. So I think this definitely could happen. I think it's a really cool idea that they could get close enough to use Melting Point's powers to actually take DeVoe's powers away and give it to someone else, or just to take them away in general. But obviously there's going to be road bumps, it's not going to be that easy, and I do think that Melting Pot will probably get taken over at one point. I'm not sure if it's going to be in this episode, but it seems like Ralph is going to be like the final target for DeVoe because he's so close to us. We've known him throughout the season, we've been getting to know him, and although I personally don't really like him, so I wouldn't be too bothered if Ralph was to go, I think a lot of people would actually take impact if Ralph was actually to be taken over and he was the final boss, I guess you could call it, of the season. So quickly before I end this video, I'm just going to give you a preview of what to expect. So we're going to be getting the Run Iris Run episode tonight. So Iris is going to have speedster powers as seen at the start of the scene that you just watched at the start of the video. She has purple lightning and she's got Barry's powers, and on my promo video, which you guys can go check out, we explain the reasons as to why I think that her lightning's purple, but go check that out in the description below. But most likely it's just for aesthetic reasons, just to look cool and to differentiate Iris from all the other speedsters. And obviously the Accelerator Man has a purple speedster trail, so that was part of my theory, but you can go check that out. But I feel like it's just going to be for an aesthetically pleasing thing to see on the screen going alongside Iris's suit, because Iris's suit is actually purple if you didn't know. The executive producer Todd Helbing actually confirmed that it's a shade of purple. So get ready for tonight's episode, guys. It's going to be really awesome. We're going to see Iris as a speedster. This is only going to be a 1 episode thing. They're going to switch back Iris's power back to Barry, and it's all going to work out by the end of the episode. And so I do think that this could be a way for them to actually finally take down DeVoe, and this could be their final plan, but we'll have to wait and see. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, but I'll see you guys tomorrow for my review on the episode. Goodbye.
It doesn't make us strong, it doesn't make us weak. Tongue tied to service like sharp preteen.